Hello everyone, it's Stuart here from Views in the Circle, and I'm bringing you a rare video blog from another Dreich summer's day in the north of Portugal to do a response to a comment or some feedback that I've received on the post I did recently. Last week I did a two-part little review on the first month of the 2013 pipe band season in both Europe and North America. And I did two parts. One part for winners, a few bands I'd thought had done a pretty good job of starting their season very well. Not necessarily the ones who had been first in everything, but bands that impressed me. And I did a follow-up to that called Losers, where I identified a few bands, amongst other things, I thought had maybe had a subpar start to the campaign. I would hope to rebound pretty strongly for the rest of the season. In that Losers post I named myself for a couple of reasons and 4 bands, including Bucksburn and District from the northeast of Scotland, Aberdeenshire, where I come from. Bucksburn are one of the great teaching bands in Scotland. They are 3 bands in the organisation: Novice Juvenile, a new juvenile band, and a long-established Grade 2 organisation. All 3 of those bands had pretty bad results at the British Championships at Bathgate a few weeks ago, where they finished pretty low down in their respective grades, and I stated this fact in the post. That was one of the reasons I included the organisation in that post, and I'd also focused, I thought, more on the fact that the Grade 2 band was going out with what looked and sounded like, from one video from a not very clear angle, that they only had maybe 2 or 3 side drummers, which is a very, very dangerously low number of drummers for a Grade 2 band these days. And after I published that post, I received a tweet from one of my Twitter followers who'd interpreted my paragraph about Bucksburn as being critical of juvenile bands, a move that she said she thought was disgusting, and that's what she told me in the tweet. And that really got to me. That's not something I ever wanted or expected to be called all the time I've been doing this blog, really. I had hoped to be engaged in some controversy and debates and so on, but disgusting certainly wasn't on my list of adjectives that I would like to be applied to me. And so I corresponded with this person a few times, explaining my reasons for why I included Bucksburn in that post, and tried to clarify my wording, how I wasn't being critical of the kids that make up the youth bands. I was simply stating, in as neutral terms I thought as possible, that they had had bad results that were reflected across the board of the organisation. I was referring to the whole Bucksburn organisation in that case, rather than trying to bash the youth bands. And of course the problem with that is that when I need to explain to somebody else, or especially to do another post about a post I've written, that clearly means that it was badly written and I wasn't able to express myself very clearly in the way I wanted. So I've done a lot of thinking about the nature of that post, and I've decided that although, as I said to this person, I stand by the wording of that post, I try always not to be unfairly critical of bands or people or players or tunes I don't particularly like. I try to always be grounded in my criticism and be fair and balanced where possible. I decided that although I didn't quite agree with the strength of her reaction to my post, I did agree she had a point that the spirit wasn't quite appropriate, I think, not what I should have been doing. So I've been thinking a lot, and I've decided I shouldn't have written that post for 2 reasons. First of all, it was unnecessarily mean. I am critical sometimes. I do say what I don't like or who I don't like, and sometimes, and try to say why rather than just ranting if at all possible. But on reflection, putting organisations in the list of people and bands called losers wasn't probably a smart move, although I had wanted for some time to do something a little edgier and more controversial, but I think this was a step too far. And more fundamentally than that, I think it was hypocritical from my end, because I've been removed from the competitive band scene for a couple of years, partly due to where I've been living the last few years, and also the situation that has been developing with my former band for a few years. And I realised that if I'd done one of these winners and losers posts a couple of seasons ago, I would have had to included my own band in the losers category, because we had a very, very poor 2011 season. And I thought by only starting this tradition now, when I'm not in the band myself, I thought it was a little hypocritical considering how poorly my own band has fared in the past. One of the other bands I named in the losers post was the Peter Vardy Glenorchiston district, who had a bad start in their first major in 3A after several very successful seasons in 3B. Everyone in that band will know that they used to beat my former band City of St Andrews all over the park every time we competed against each other, so I have a lot of respect for their own abilities and I hope they rebound. And I hope all these bands I name manage to rebound and get out there again and have a better campaign. Toronto Police, one of the other bands on the list, have done this already. They were in that post because they gave, in my opinion, two very subpar performances at Kingston compared to the potential they'd shown last year for their improvement, getting to the final of the Worlds in Grade 1 and playing pretty well both times. And they've managed to improve already. They were second just the other day in a 5-band Grade 1 contest behind visitors Loch Holland Bathgate. And so I think there's a lot of potential for these bands to do well and improve, and I hope they do, because I certainly wouldn't want to wish bad luck on any band for an entire season or more than that. So hopefully I've made my case a bit as to why I still stand by what I wrote in that post. I'm not going to take it down, because I think that would be a little case of self-serving editing on my part. But I do agree that the sentiment, the feeling behind that post was misplaced. I shouldn't have written it, and while I might decide to do some more winner updates in the rest of the season and future seasons, there won't be any more loser posts from now on the blog, because that's not what I feel my website is about, and I hope this incident hasn't tarnished the blog's reputation too much. So I apologise if anybody was hurt by what I said. I welcome any criticism, feedback or dialogue from people who would like to express their opinion, as that Twitter follower did very wisely and very helpfully. So thank you for your response, and thank you for helping me to realise my mistake. I have got lots of new ideas for new posts for the blog. I've got some big news coming up which I'll be announcing hopefully in the next few days about the future for the summer, and the wider future of the blog as to where I'm going to be and what I'll be doing. And so I hope you found this post informative and useful, and I'll be in touch again very soon. Thank you all. Bye bye.